share your story, get the word out about what you believe in and what you're promoting without the fear of having your platform taken down. And I love Anchor specifically because it is a platform that's allowing me to show who I truly am and an opportunity to get things that I want to say out to the public without risk of backlash and getting my hands slapped with probation and things of that nature. So if you want to give Anchor a try, this is the time. You can soar with your stories and your podcast. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in to the Battles Within Life podcast. I'm your host, Keshana Woods-Lee. We have a great show here for you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Battles Within Life podcast. I'm your host, Keshana Woods-Lee. Today, we're simply going to be talking about the Black Lives Matters co-founder under fire for purchasing luxury items, while so many people go without, especially during this pandemic. Now, there's some interesting facts about this article, but before we get to that, I want to play some of the video from Fox 4 News just to give you an idea of what the public is saying about the co-founder of the Black Lives Matter. And you decide, is this a movement that you want to support? Is this a movement that supports Black lives? Or is this a movement that is using that as an excuse to line their pockets with silver and gold? Now, we really don't understand the circumstances as to which these luxury homes were purchased, but we also want to make sure that you get the full commentary on this story. So I'm going to Fox 4 News. This information is protected by fair use for education purposes and media. Here we go.
It's now being called fraud after property records showed Patrice Cullors shelled out millions of dollars on 4 luxury homes. One of them in Los Angeles' exclusive 88% white Topanga Canyon. This, as the Associated Press reports, Black Lives Matter took in some $90 million in donations last year. Now remember, this is the organization. The movement with people in the streets, they're not getting rained down on by cash.
Wow.
Now other people in the organization want an investigation into the group's finances. The head of the New York chapter of BLM org also wants a close look at Cullors' personal finances, saying a self-professed socialist should ask how much of their own money is going to charitable causes.
Thank you, Fox 4 News.
This is it.
That article clip and video clip was from Fox 4 News. They wanted to provide you with the information as to how they feel about what's going on with the co-founder of Black Lives Matter. Now, you as the public, you decide. Now, here in the article from Black Enterprise, it says Black Lives Matter, or should I say BLM co-founder Patrice Cullors under fire for purchasing $1 million homes in white neighborhoods. Now, she's living in a neighborhood that's 88% other. She's paid millions of dollars to live in that neighborhood. What does that really say about the organization she represents? Black Lives Matter. I'll leave that question to you guys. I won't answer it for you, but there are a lot of influential and prestigious places that she could live where Black people live. But she has the right to live wherever she pleases. But it's just a question of, is her goal really to support that community? Now, you have to keep in mind that Miss Colors did write a book. Maybe her finances are provided by her own hard work, wit, and diligence in writing this book and getting revenue from that. Now, we don't know what happened, but I'm going to go to the article and get us some actual facts about this story. Now, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors is under fire for allegedly going on a real estate buying binge where she purchased 4 high-end homes, with some being in wealthy, predominantly white neighborhoods. According to the property reports referenced by New York Post, Cullors is accused of purchasing 4 high-end homes for $3.2 million in the U.S. She's also said to have been eyeing property in the Bahamas at an exclusive luxury beachfront resort outside Nassau, where condos are priced between $5 million and $20 million. Cullors' real estate binge was put on blast by Wednesday, April 7, after the outlet Dirt revealed the $1.4 million Topanga Canyon compound the BLM activists recently purchased. The 2,370 square feet property reportedly features soaring ceilings, skylights, and plenty of windows, and is just one of 3 homes Cullors owns in the Los Angeles area. Public records show. During the height of 2020 BLM movement, Cullors and spouse Janaya Khan purchased a custom ranch on 3.2 rural acres in Conyers, Georgia. Additionally, the activist is said to have paid $510,000 for a 3-bedroom home in Inglewood, California, and $590,000 for a 4-bedroom home in South LA that she purchased in 2018. After news of Cullors' luxury living hit the press, other members of the Black Lives Matter organization called for an investigation. If you go around calling yourself a socialist, you have to ask how much of her own personal money is going to charitable causes, said Hawk Newsom, the head of the Black Lives Matter Great New York City. It's really sad because it makes people doubt the validity of the movement and overlook the fact that it's the people that carry this movement. Cullors co-founded the Black Lives Matter movement with Alicia Garza and Opal Tometi in 2013. BLM activists have been demanding $20 million from the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, including Michael Brown Sr., whose son of Mike leased in Ferguson, Missouri in 2014. Why hasn't my family's foundation received any assistance from the movement? Michael Brown Sr. asked in a statement last month. Yahoo News reports on behalf of many activists in the St. Louis area. I'm joined by Mike Brown Sr., the father of Mike Brown Jr. today. We hold Black Lives Matter accountable, community organizer Tony Russell said. This is updated 4/13/2021. Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation has since reached out to Black Enterprise to provide a statement. And the statement is as follows. Patrisse Cullors is an executive director of Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. The statement read, she serves in the role of in a volunteer capacity and does not receive a salary or benefits. Patrisse has received a total of $120,000 since the organization's inception in 2013 for duties such as serving as spokesperson and engaging in political education work. Patrisse did not receive any compensation after 2019. The statement continues to be abundantly clear as a registered 501c3 Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation cannot and did not commit any organizational resources toward the purchase of personal property by any employee or volunteer, and insinuation or assertion to the contrary is categorically false. Patrice's work for Black people over the years has made her and others who align with the fight of Black liberation targets of racist violence. The narratives being spread about Patrice have been generated by right-wing forces intent on reducing the support and influence of a movement that is larger than any one organization. This right-wing offensive not only puts Patrice, her child, and her loved ones in harm's way, it also continues a tradition of terror by white supremacists against Black activists. All Black activists know the fear these malicious and serious actions are meant to instill, the fear of being silenced and trauma of being targeted, the torture of feeling one's family is exposed to danger just for speaking out against an unjust system. We have seen this tactic for terror time and time again, but our movement will not be silenced. That was from Black Lives Matter. Now, we have to know that they could be telling the truth. After all, she is an author in her own right. Also, what raises a question would be, why haven't the Global Network for this organization supported the families that needed help, and they have the money to do so? Now, when you have these things in place, there are salaries that can be paid to people when you have a nonprofit organization. However, where do you draw the line? Is it salary versus an overcompensation? That seems to be riding the lines of unfairness and deception to the public. When you donate to these organizations, you have the right to ask, what will these funds be used for? And if you're not satisfied with the answer, then by all means, you have no obligation to support to support an organization that you don't believe in, or that you don't believe is going to do the appropriate thing with the funds that you're supporting them with. Now, we've also heard, and I'm sure you all have heard it as well, that the Black Lives Matter movement is a cover-up to perpetuate other agendas for other movements. Now, if the agenda is Black Lives Matter, you should not be switching back and forth to other agendas or other focuses. You know, if it's Black Lives Matter, then let it be Black Lives Matter. Don't let it be Gay Lives Matter. Don't let it be Asian Lives Matter. These need to be separate organizations, not organizations that fall under the umbrella of Black Lives Matter. Now, if someone happens to be gay and Black, then you still want to go to, if they're having a gay rights issue, they want to be with a gay rights organization. And if Black Lives Matter is a gay rights organization, then they need to bring that to the forefront. We are not only a Black Lives Matter, we're also a Gay Lives Matter organization, instead of perpetuating deception to the people that are donating to your causes and your funds. Now, this is not to say anything towards the LGBT committee or the LGBT community, but it is to say something toward the deception that so many people perpetuate in society. They'll tell you that they represent one thing, and then behind closed doors or in another situation, you find out that they're not really about that life. They're really representing something else. You know, that's why, like my grandmother said, when you pray with people and they say God, you need to make sure that y'all talking about the same God, because everybody's not talking about the same God. And in those situations with these charities, you need to make sure that the cause that they're talking about that you support is the same cause that you feel that you're supporting, and you're not being misled to support another cause that you don't want to have anything to do with. You know, and people are sitting up here just pointing the finger at this lady. She is an author. She could have very well made her money in real estate and by being a writer. I'm sure many people wanted to know how they funded the organization,